let's see here. This video is about the Apple logo and how it is Masonic and of the devil. I want to cover some other things too, like the Bissell logo. Now, if you're a superficial person, just stop watching the video. This is for people who can think for themselves and question what they're taught. I was looking at this video about China and how there's chaos because it's an atheist country and people don't think for themselves. They trust the government that's Masonic and therefore dishonest and unjust. You know, atheists, they're an enlightened bunch. That's why they have so much order and peace and harmony. True peace and harmony in China. It's an atheist and therefore enlightened country. But I immediately digressed when starting this video, which is a record. Thumbs up if you don't feel sorry for Apple, the corporation. So I said, the Apple logo is a reference to and celebration of Adam's theft from God's forbidden tree. Since all corporations and countries are controlled by Satan, the synagogue of Satan, and Masonry, as I proved in my series on the overrated British Empire. No, they are not. It's just state capitalism. Total non sequitur fallacy. It does not logically follow that we are capitalists, therefore let's put an apple as the picture. That doesn't make sense. So I say an apple has nothing to do with computers, so the Masonic Corporation using a Masonic symbol is a perfect explanation. State capitalism doesn't explain the logo at all. On the other hand, the apple associated with teachers is in relation to knowledge, but that only corroborates with the forbidden fruit illusion. Logos can be interpreted in a lot of ways. This is true. However, he's pretending that all interpretations are equal. His makes no sense. It's a non sequitur fallacy. He doesn't actually give a reason. The first Apple logo looked like a complex illustration from 1980 or something. It was named Apple because it was simple and easy. Nothing too fancy. Wow. So, hey guys, what will the picture be to represent our company about computers? You know what? Let's make it simple and easy. Nothing too fancy. Apple. That's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of simple and easy, right? Apple. Yeah. I mean, we could have used toilet. That's pretty simple. Actually, a toilet has too many parts. How about poop? That's pretty damn simple, isn't it? Oh, poop is a negative thing? Alright, how about a dollar sign? Because that's what we're really about. That's really simple and easy. Just an S with a line across it. A crucified S. A snake on a pole. Oh, that's not simple enough? Alright, let's make it an apple. Let's make it an apple. And let's make it very complicated. Yeah, sure. Simple and easy. That's not simple. That's nonsense. So their second logo was changed to be just as simple. It didn't change much since the second iteration. There is no rule that says the logo has to consist of something related to what the business does. That's irrelevant because everything happens for a reason. You still give no good reason for them to choose an apple of all things, for a computer, which has nothing to do with apples. Everything happens for a reason. You don't want to admit the only rational explanation is the one that gives an actual reason for the choice. For your reason is inadequate, for simple and easy means nothing and can match countless logos. So, since it can match countless logos, that doesn't explain why an apple. You can't answer rationally. You reject the only rational explanation for no good reason because you're prejudiced against the fact that conspiracies in the world do exist, which I proved in my series on the overrated British Empire. And then he deleted a comment where he strawmanned me. Of course, your strawman fallacy, where you dishonestly omit my reasoning, is not very rational. You're accusing me of being a troll while feeding the troll, the alleged troll, hypocrite. You're a liar and you are willfully blind. I'm done reading your denial. Because it's really annoying that he denies the truth at every turn, no matter what, clutching at straws. They don't want the truth. He's a truth phobe. Then, after someone with a racist gay flag says something, Mike Nikosama, which is totally not a weeaboo name, said, "Ha ha 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 ha! The Beatles' last record label was also Apple. I'm pretty sure that no one in the 60s got all worked up about that. Ha 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 ha! But if you really want to know, the Apple with a bite taken out of it logo probably was based on the biblical story of eating an apple. This is true, to gain knowledge." Now he makes it like it's a positive thing. Oh, apple is about knowledge. There's nothing wrong or satanic about knowledge, is there? Except it's a forbidden fruit. So God forbade this knowledge. God didn't say the knowledge was bad per se, but he tested man. In other words, knowledge is good, alright? But in this case, if you take from this knowledge, then you will die because you will be aware that what you do is wrong. Although actually, God did give he gave revealed knowledge of good and evil. Because atheists say, how did they know it was evil to take from it if they didn't take from it yet? Because by taking from it, they would have knowledge of good and evil, say atheists. Well, look, there's innate knowledge and then there's revealed knowledge. The apple would give them innate knowledge, where they instinctively would know between good and evil. Whereas God had given them, before they took of that forbidden fruit, God had given them revealed knowledge by telling them specifically and explicitly, take from this and you will die. And they did begin dying. They became mortal on a march towards death, which we are all on. Us, the cursed seed of Adam. He sinned, so he cursed all of his bloodline. So, and how is that just? Well, if God wants to avoid that, then he's going to have to avoid any case where a parent can negatively affect their child by their poor decisions. In which case, God would have to prevent them having children. Because if you have relationships, you have the ability to affect others negatively, so long as you have choice, which can be abused. And God gave this in order for us to love, because love cannot be forced. So he had to give us choice, but he also gave us instructions, conscience, and revealed knowledge. So, moving on. The Beatles worshipped Satan, so you just unwittingly supported my point. He's laughing at me like he's got a point, even though he omits the fact that the knowledge in the story was forbidden, wanting to paint Apple, the corporation, as a good thing. Oh yeah, corporation equals good. What kind of dictionary is this guy using? Since when is any corporation good? They're all corrupt. I used to love Nintendo until I learned about Nintendont. I still love some Nintendo things, like music especially. The music is innocent. Unless they have bad lyrics. Let's see, where was I? So the Beatles worship Satan, so you just unwittingly supported my point. There's a famous picture of them doing satanic signs, like the 666 sign, which by a different interpretation, by a PG Disney-esque interpretation for superficial people, is the OK sign. Why is this OK? Why does approval have to be represented with fingers doing 666? What does 666 have to do with approval? It's because the people who entrenched this tradition into society, or societies, they want people to approve of 666. They want people to approve of Satan. They want people to worship Satan. This is very subtle propaganda for devil worship. Now I'm not saying, I know idiots will say, oh, so you say the OK sign means we worship Satan. No, it doesn't, you fool. I didn't say that. Listen very carefully, you retards. And by retards, I don't mean autists. Autists are actually smart. I plan to do a video on that. But they're trapped in bodies that can't express that intelligence well. Anyway, what I'm saying is not that doing this sign will make you satanic, per se, but that it is desensitizing people into painting satanic things as good. Similar to Pokemon and other things depicting dragons as good. They're not your friends. Satan doesn't care about you. And the devil horn sign was also used by the Beatles. So let's look at that over here. 666 devil horns. So, in case this isn't clearly satanic enough, you got the horns going on here. There you go. And over here you have also Moloch, the owl. Now, the ancient pagan god Moloch was not necessarily an owl. It was probably something else. However, it is associated with an owl nowadays, just as the apple is associated with a forbidden fruit, even though the Bible doesn't say it was an apple. I think there's a fruit, maybe the apple is the fruit, where if you cut it at a certain angle, then you get like a pentagram or something. A pentagon. And that's a satanic symbol because this fallen angels are represented by stars in the Bible. Stars that fell from the sky. The dragon swept a third of the starry host down to earth. In other words, angels followed the dragon down to earth in rebellion. When he was cast down, so were they. Their song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is about Lucifer. It's not a coincidence they chose this name. This makes perfect sense considering the context, such as 666, devil horn sign. It's pretty obvious they worship Satan. Why were they famous and rich? Because they sold their souls. Their song Lucifer, and by the way, Lucifer means light bearer. So Satan is no longer the bearer of light. Now he masquerades as an angel of light. Now he is just darkness. There's no light in him. And whenever he uses light, it's to promote evil by hiding some of that light to distort something to make people deceived, to get them deceived. So Lucifer in the sky. Sky is the symbol for heaven. They're not the same. Atheists don't understand that because they never read the Bible. They don't understand what they hate because they're very ignorant. Lucifer in the sky. So Lucifer in the sky, heaven symbol with diamonds, is about their Lord Satan's wish to conquer heaven. This is Satan's plan. That's what the New World Order is about. Novus Ordo Seclorum. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact written, inscribed in your dollar bill. With a pyramid, a reference to the Tower of Babel with the one eye on top, which the Bible says is a symbol for Satan because it says that the Antichrist will lose his right eye. His right eye will be utterly darkened. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. His right eye shall be utterly darkened, says the Bible. And even the unholy Quran says that the Antichrist, one of them, will be one-eyed, the Dal. So that disgusting song is about their Lord Satan's wish to conquer heaven. He was kicked out of. There are many who sing as good as or better than those Brits. So what made them so famous? It's not what you know, it's who you know. They had connections with the occult. To gain knowledge, forbidden knowledge, is about rebelling against God. He tried to portray it as a good thing. It's about knowledge. So if it is related to the Bible, it's just about knowledge, man. No, it's about forbidden knowledge. So the corporation isn't good. It doesn't want your knowledge. It wants you to steal from God. So it's hiding the knowledge that you're going to burn forever for stealing. It's about rebelling against God. Masonic corporations are run by devil worshippers, as I proved in my series on the overrated British Empire, particularly in part 2. And the part 2 of this little series on the Apple logo and similar is to be continued.